What's up YouTube? Jeff back from SammyGuru.com. Today another very exciting Samsung video for you guys, and today we're talking about the Galaxy Tab S11 and One UI 8 on tablets. Yes, I think the One UI 8 software update is massive for tablets. I just did a video on HomeUp's new One UI 8 compatibility. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link below. But today I just want to talk about One UI 8 as a whole on tablets. Samsung really impressed me with the changes they've made, and I want to show you guys just a little bit of that in this walkthrough. So first of all, before we get started, I want to remind you guys, make sure you check out the website, SammyGuru.com, covering the latest Samsung news, tips, tricks, tutorials, and reviews. And of course, if you want, you can also set us as your preferred source for Samsung news in the Google News search engine, which helps us out a lot. We have a tutorial on how to do that. You can also get in our mystery box program. If you tap the orange banner here at the top, it'll take you to our mystery box page. You'll be able to tap on the S26 Ultra, get in our mystery box program. You'll be able to get a free case, screen protector, cleaning kit, desktop phone stand, other randomly inserted goodies. Of course, you can also get a 65-watt charger in every single box. This is the first launch we've ever done that because Samsung is upgrading the wired charging speeds on the S26 series. This is US only, but all you have to do is use our affiliate link to order. That's how we fund the program. Cover all the shipping and everything. I don't know of anybody else, website or creator, who does this. We love to do it to give back to the community, and also helps us to continue to fund the content we make here on YouTube and all the news and great content we make on the website. So you can check that out below if you're interested. All right, so let's talk about some of the changes that Samsung has made. First, I'll talk about some of just the UI changes, and you can see some of these whether you're in portrait or in landscape, and I'll actually show you guys both. We also have the new S Pen, which I'm going to make a hardware-focused review on the Tab S11. I also have the Tab S11 Ultra. I just happen to be a guy who finds the smaller tablet to be more appealing. I don't know why Samsung made some compromises with it, and I will talk about that in another video. But I'm not someone who uses a massive tablet for tablet-sized tasks because the Tab S11 Ultra is huge. It's just my personal opinion. But if you take a look at this beautiful quick panel that Samsung added, you can see the beautiful blur. It doesn't take up the full screen like it did on One UI 7. I had a lot of complaints about One UI 7's tablet interface. I made a video of that on the SammyGuru channel. You guys can see here the beautiful drop-down menu here on this side as well. They just did such a great job of not only getting the blur right, this thing looks beautiful, but also it takes use of the tablet interface. And if we do switch it to, let me switch it over to landscape for you. You can see here in landscape, it also looks really nice. Basically, you've got your notifications in the side here, in the middle, and then, of course, if you go to the far right, you've got your quick panel. Now, that's not the only thing, though, that Samsung did here. You've also got really nice animations, and one of those animations in particular is the Now Brief. So now if you tap on your Now Brief, look how it just beautifully pops up and animates like this. You can scroll through, you can still get your Now Brief read aloud just like you would, on the phones in One UI 8. But this animation is just absolutely beautiful. Samsung did an amazing job here with this. Now, it's not just that. They also have some usability features, and I'll show you guys a couple here. In fact, whenever you get a new Samsung phone, I think a lot of people don't realize this, but there's a tips and user guide section here at the bottom. You should always check it out because specifically with the Galaxy Tab, there's quite a few things. One of those was already here on the foldables, the new foldables that were launched in July, the Z Fold 7. Move and resized Galaxy Eye results. So if you have Galaxy Eye stuff, like if you get suggestions while you're doing typing in like, let's see, let's go to X maybe. And then like if I create some post in X and I say, this is good, I can highlight this, right? And I can get Galaxy Eye to help me with my grammar. And then I can reposition this wherever I want. So if I'm using spelling or grammar, it doesn't have to necessarily be right there. I can replace it just like that. So that's a nice one. That's the first one. That was obviously there with the foldables. This one is the big one. We can talk about that in a second. This is the new desktop workspaces for the new Dex on the One UI 8 for the tablets. And that's actually amazing. It really turns this into an iPad Pro competitor. You can extend your desktop with a connected display, move apps between your tablet and connected monitor just by dragging. I will say that someone asked me, I think it was Fidel on X, does the Tab S11 Ultra support 120 Hz when connected to a display? And it doesn't appear to. It's still 60 Hz. So in case anyone was curious about that. Use multiple desktops to organize your apps. Like I said, this is also part of the new Dex, just like these two together. We'll look at that in a second. Customize your lock screen with widgets, and then right here, so here you can make your lock screen with your own widgets. This is something that's been there on the phones. It's not like it's a revolutionary thing. Instantly swap pen styles. So this is actually something that's new. When you're in Samsung Notes now, you can easily just hover your S Pen over a note and press the pen button to quickly pick a new pen style. So if we go in here, I'll show you guys this one. So if we go to handwritten note, if I hover over a note, you guys can see the new Samsung Pencil. So this basically just looks like a pencil. You see if I just press the pen button, I can go ahead and just change my pen style, my colors. It's actually super useful. I don't think Samsung really sold this enough. They didn't really talk about this too much in their virtual event, but this is actually really cool, and it actually makes this like a really useful tool when you're doing this with tablets, because obviously the tablet is somewhere that you're probably going to use this a lot more. And actually, I'll probably talk about this and compare it to the old S Pen and the Apple Pencil in another video, but it is actually very comfortable, even though, you know, I'm not all for copying everything Apple does, but it is something that's not, you know, a bad idea in terms of usability. And then you also have the new One UI 8 features listed here, but these are pretty much the same features that we have on the phones. There's nothing tablet specific in here. You do have the lock screen clock, and by the way, it does work, sort of. I've talked about this lock screen clock a lot, but here's the thing. If you have it set up, let me just take it off camera for a second. If you have the lock screen clock set up in your portrait style, and then you rotate it to landscape, which you guys saw I just did, if you rotate this to landscape, then it doesn't maintain the new clock style. So that new adaptive clock has had a lot of problems, but it is there on the tablet for those of you who are, you know, thinking about this and wondering if it was there. Now, the new Dex over here, if you go into your recents, you'll see this little thing to add a desktop. So if you add a desktop, it kind of shrinks your taskbar down, and then these apps will open in pop-up windows now, just like a desktop interface, which you can, you know, minimize. You have all of your different controls, just anything that you would normally do with them. They're all going to open in that same kind of workspace. But then if you go out of the desktop mode, it's going to sometimes snap it back to portrait. You guys actually saw that. And then you'll have to go back to the desktop over here, and then you can take it back to your landscape. Now, if you're in a regular like tablet interface, you can open these in desktop. I'll show you that in just a second. But right now, if you're in the desktop itself, basically every application would now open, you know, in that desktop look. So you have ability to minimize, you can see over here, remove from desktop, you can snap to left and right, maximize, you can see here, you can maximize this or make it into the portrait. If you minimize it, then it's going to go away. But if you go back into that space, it's right there in your desktop. Now you can also, like I said, create up to 4 of these, so you can create more desktops if you want. So you can have one for each individual type of app. Now, if you don't have a desktop open, for instance, if you want to create a desktop, you can take an application that you're working with and you can just swipe this down and drop it into a desktop. So you can just swipe down from the top, and then that will automatically open a desktop space. And of course, these apps are adaptable in this Windows format. And the nice thing is, obviously up here, you have all of your options. You can see the icon, you know, that you're utilizing and all that. So there's a lot of different things you can do here with your desktop workspace, and this gives you a lot of control. You can obviously, again, close it, minimize it, whatever you want to do, just like if you were using a desktop UI. And of course, if you close that one app, it doesn't close the space. You have to go back and do this. Now, there are some restrictions you guys probably saw. In Home Up, you cannot use other task changers. You have to use Grid when you're using the desktop workspace, but it is still very nice to have the desktop workspace, and Samsung did a phenomenal job with Dex in One UI 8. So overall, there's a lot of changes here that add up. Just the general visual look, they made it look so much better. They took a lot better use of the space. I really wish that they could still maybe make it so that you could actually get, you know, it'd be cool if you could see both of these at the same time somehow. I think that'd be kind of nice. But obviously, you know, see, like you can't, like on the phone, you could swipe between these. You can't do that here. Be kind of cool if you could see both. But I mean, that's a limited, not too many people are going to care too much about that, I don't think. Anyway, One UI is a huge upgrade on the Tab S11. If you're thinking about getting one though, I'm going to make some more hardware content on these devices, including the Tab S11 Ultra. I'd probably hold off because you're going to get One UI 8 if you have a Tab S10 or Tab S9 in October. That schedule is leaked. If you guys want to check it out, we covered that over on the site. Check out when your phone or tablet will get One UI 8. And you're going to get these features. And the hardware probably isn't as massive of an upgrade to go out and buy one unless you just want the smaller tablet, which is what I did. I wanted the smaller tablet because they didn't make a base model Tab S10 last year. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon, future videos like this. Check out SammyGuru.com for all your great Samsung content needs. Appreciate checking out this video. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.